Welcome everybody back to RGLTV's Feed the Kids 2020 Marathon. I'll be your host for this game, Phantasy Star 2. I'll also be playing. So this is the any percent route of Phantasy Star 2 in the English language, and it is super busted, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Guys, gals, and non-binary friends, enjoy the speedrun, so I will get to it. Not waste any more time. Now I'll try and explain some of the stuff, because some of the stuff is really especially hard to do while I'm doing it, because I have to concentrate on keeping count of things. So I may have to explain some stuff after I get it done, but we'll have a lot of spots worthy of explaining things for sure. So let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing is because we're going to be abusing some stuff, shall we say. We have to name our main character ABWX. So ABWX is going to be the name of our character, and we have to do that for a very specific reason, and I will kind of point it out when we get there. But it will allow us to do some very interesting inventory manipulation. I changed the scene, it didn't go? Oh. Sorry, I thought I changed the scene. My bad. All right, now that I'm done being a total not professional here, let's get started. So here we go. So we start off with a dream the main character is having. He's dreaming about the events of Phantasy Star 1, about our Phantasy Star 1 protagonist Alice fighting against Dark Force, the main villain. Our character's name is Rolf, or ABWX. He lives on a planet named Motavia. He is an agent of some such thing or other. His boss wants us to check out why the monsters are getting worse. You know, the usual trope. We go back home. We have a half-human, half-monster friend named Nay, who is very adamant about joining us. Oops, now we're going to get rid of all of ABWX's gear, because he doesn't need it. We're going to go back to the base here. We're going to go to the aptly labeled room, and we're going to initiate a baggage, but not actually do it with Nay, which is going to allow us to warp ABWX's menu a lot. And we had him hold a key item for later. Alright, now check this out. So now what we're going to do is dive into Rolf's menu some here. And give Nay a nice little moon dew. And then we're going to go into Nay's inventory here, get rid of her carbon vest because she don't need it. And then once again go diving into the menu. And we're going to give Nay this thing called Team here, which is actually a person, by the way. And then we're going to, since it was the last thing we messed with, we're going to duplicate it and give her another one, because why not? And then we're going to go ahead and, unequip Nay's ribbon and her sandal. And notice her defense stat right there. It's underflowed. So just keep track of that. Keep that in mind anyway. And now we gave the Nay shot to Nay. So there's items that are kind of named after Nay in this game, and they're all the most powerful items in the game. We now have Nay shot. We're going to give her ribbon and sandals back. Defense is still quite an underflowed there. And we're going to go back in here. And we're going to give Nay a yellow card. No, that's not the ban. For blue card. And then we're going to go ahead and get rid of Nay's ribbon because we don't need it. And then we're going to go ahead and do one more deep dive into Rolf here. I'm giving Nay a Visiphone. What this lets me do is save anywhere in the game. And then I'm going to get rid of her sandals too. Alright, so that's a lot of the inventory manipulation that we're going to be doing here. What's actually kind of neat is that pulling things out of Geralt's inventory, because we're going way below his inventory, we're actually diving into stats of another character. Oops, I don't want to buy, I want to sell first, sorry. So when we pull something out of the character, we're resetting their stat to 0, and that's why Nay has an underflowed defense right now. So we're going to sell an item he doesn't have for 14,200. So we have enough money to do our buying here. So we're going to buy 2 telepipes. We're going to give everything to Nay because Rolf can't actually hold inventory right now because it's glitched. See, I gave him something, but he's not going to have it. It's not going to break anything, so don't worry about it. So we bought 2 telepipes and 4 escape pipes for later. Telepipes bring you back to the last place you've saved, and escape pipes just warp you out of a dungeon. Now that we've done that... Yo, what's up, Elrock? How you doing? So basically, by pulling things out of Nay's inventory, or Nay's stats via ABWX's or Rolf's inventory, we were able to reset it to 0 and then unequip and re-equip things to underflow it. So hopefully the notoriously terrible encounter rate doesn't come wildly hit us here in this area. We got to come into this town and leave. What that does is it activates another character named Rudo to join the party once we go back to the house. And now we got surprise attack. But you see here, Nay's not taking damage because her defense is too high for them to hit her. So now we're going to go back out and go this way. We're going to go in here. So now we're going to get a cutscene. So that team item was a person, like I said. This is Team. That's her dad. She's wearing a hood, so he doesn't know it's her, and then he kills her. And then he's like, oh shit, what have I done? And blows himself up. For whatever reason. So now we gotta leave. And now remember, I got a second team. I duplicated it. So if I go back in here, it re-triggered the cutscene and walks me. I'm not actually doing anything with my controller right now. And so now it thinks I'm in that cutscene again, so I can't get encounters until I go into someplace else. So I can walk through here completely encounter-free. Well, that should have happened, actually, to be honest though, Polyhead, that should have happened way later in the game. Me glitching the team item into existence let me skip a huge chunk of the game just then. And so we're going to come here, that's going to remove that team cutscene glitch. And now we're going to telepipe back home. And we're going to go back in the house, and here's Rudo, our first character we want. And then we're going to go back into the house, because the second town gave us Amy here. Oops, I didn't mean to go into that, so we'll just do that. And then we'll add them to the party. And then we're going to get rid of Rudo's gear, because Rudo's going to have his inventory glitched as well. Alright. So we're going to go into the room again, keep baggage, go into Nay's inventory, back out, go into Rudo's, and we can glitch him out here. Alright, so now we got that. Oops, I should have said yes, whatever. That just cost me a little bit of time. Not a big deal. We'll go back into the room. So now we're getting baggage, please. So we're going to get the key tube, give that to Nay. Get the red card, give that to Amy. Alright, now that we're done here, we're going to use a neat little system in this game, which is the teleport system. You can teleport to any town you've previously been to. So we're going to go to Aputa, which is the last town we went to before we warped back. And everything is going to happen from here. So first off, we're going to hit the armor shop. Going to buy a fiber gear for Amy. Then we're going to go to the weapon shop. We're going to buy 2 ceramic bars for Nay. And then 2 ceramic knives for Amy. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and equip Nay with both her ceramic bars. And then because we want to have some marathon safety, I'm going to do this. And what this is a hide-a-pipe, so it's an item that I can use, and it's like a repel. All right, so now this is why we had to name him ABWX, by the way. So if we dive into the first slots down here, there's the Nay helmet, so that's actually why we named him this. And we notice his name's changing now. We're pulling these items out of his name. Nay crown. Nay armor. And Nay cape. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and equip Amy. Fiber gear. Both of her ceramic knives. And then the Nay cape. And now we're going to go into Rudo's inventory here. And pull out the Nay slasher. Then we're going to equip Amy with the carbon suit again. And then the Nay crown. And then we're going to dive into Rudo's inventory again. For the Nay shield. And we're gonna re-equip Amy with the fiber gear. Notice Amy's defense is now underflowed. And then we are going to get rid of her shoes. Because she don't need shoes. Who needs shoes? Alright. So then we're gonna go down, we're gonna deal into Rudo's inventory one more time. Well, two more times technically. And we're gonna give Amy the green card because she's not from around here. Rudo. And then one more item, which is the Nay Emil. And that is it. We have all of the Nay items except one, which we'll pick up at the end of the game. So now we're going to buy a telepipe for Amy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to... oops, I didn't actually need to back out for that. So we're going to start buying antidotes for Rudo, or for ABWX. Now watch his name eventually. Notice his name's changing into boxes. Alright, now we need to buy 10 more of these. Oops. Buy 2 dimates. And then 17 escape pipes. And this is adjusting, I believe, Nay's and Amy's stats. Alright, now I have to go ahead and change the order and put Rudo up front. And we're going to do the same thing to Rudo. And 29 more. Now the good news is that's all of the menuing kind of stuff like that we have to do. So we're going to reorder now. We're going to put Nay up front, then Amy, and then Rudo and Roll. So now they're all potentially going to have this like curse effect on them because of all that janky stuff I just did to them. And so I need to get into an encounter and run away successfully. And locusts are hard to run from, so this should be fun. Notice Amy now can't be killed or hurt either. So attacks that have a secondary effect like healing or like a status can still hit them. So we noticed that the mosquitoes are still hitting him because it does like a life drain. But no regular moves like the locusts can't hit them. They can still hit Rudo and AWS. So. There we go. Now we run. So now what I'm going to do, Amy has this hide a pipe, so I'm going to actually clone it. Come on. There we go. And use it. So the hide a pipe, like I said, it's a repel. So we're going to lessen our encounter rate, but not completely get rid of it. And hide a pipes in this game last until you go into a new place. So, which is nice because then we can utilize this for a while. So we just basically used the inventory glitch to bring into being a whole bunch of different items that we normally would have had to have done a whole bunch of different dungeons throughout the game for. And now we don't have to do that. So, like we just skipped that dungeon, we just walked past there to go into this tunnel. Because we have the key card, Nay has it, or the key tube I should say, to open this door. So now we'll have to use a new hide-a-pipe. Come on, man. There we go. So we'll probably end up like taking one encounter or something here along the way and fighting it. Because it'll basically even out Amy to level 50. I think we'll do it on this one. So we'll strategy, order, we'll let Nay fight, strategy, order, Amy fight, and we'll fight. Oh, he's dead. That's not a big deal. Amy just gained some levels. Yeah. I definitely dig the hide-a-pipe music there. A little throwback. You can't hit her. Haha, can't hit her either. What I normally will do is if I can't run twice, then I'll just attack him. But running is usually obviously a little faster. So this is the first dungeon we have to do. So this is a cool thing they did with this game, is the overhead piping is really neat. Sometimes it kind of gets in the way of the view, but it's a pretty neat little effect, I think. We'll fight these, because I think Locustos are hard to run. Oops, I went the wrong way, this way. Yeah, for real. It was very cool. I like it in this one. Get to see a lot of it in the dams. Or sluts. Kill these. So, we've broken this game pretty fantastically at this point. I guess to kind of spoiler some of the storyline. So Naya, like I had said, is kind of like a half monster, half human. And she was... Ooh, I got a surprise attack. And they can still be attacked by AoE. I should say they can still be damaged by AoE. That's another thing they can be hit by. But she was genetically engineered. And she was obviously... And so being that she was genetically engineered, you know, they went through stages. So there's an actual... another Nay that they call Nay First in a dungeon, and when you kill Nay First, some things happen. And one of those things is you lose Nay in the party forever. But since we don't fight her, we're never going to lose Nay. So that's going to be one thing we broke the game with. And the other thing is that all the bio monsters in the in the overworld and dungeons and stuff go away and get replaced by robots. And so, dungeons that have robots in them, because we never killed Nay first and triggered that switch to happen, just won't have encounters, which will be the rest of them after this one. Oh, come on. Oh, vortexes are... Nay's asleep. Vortexes are hard to run from. I forgot about that. Wake up. Yeah, that's not a big deal anymore now. So now that we're here, we need to talk to this dude down here. He said he has this neat thing he wants to show us, so we're gonna escape pipe out. And it's this scooter right here. And now he's letting us have it. Which is nice of him. Oops, not give, use. Use. Only if he's dead do I have to give it to somebody, because dead people can't use items. I mean, this is a short jaunt, and it didn't really work anyway, so... So I kind of don't want Rudo to die. It's not the end of the world if he does, but if he does, then I have to... If I want to use hide pipes, I have to give them to somebody and then go into their inventory and use them, which is a pain. So we're going to enter in the first of 4 dungeons that are called the Dams. This is the Red Dam. This isn't the first one you'd normally do. This is the first one we'll be doing. Amy has the red card, so we'll give her, or we'll let her use it, and we'll enter the dam. So these dams are kind of notorious in this game if you've ever played it, for being kind of really hard. The encounter rate in this game is already kind of ridiculous, and these are pretty maze-like, and they just kind of get harder and harder. Actually, no, this probably is the first one you would do, now that I think about it. It's been a while. It's this one over here. So they end to be mazes, and the encounter rate's atrocious in this game. And the robots get a little bit harder than the biomonsters were as well. So it just all is like this just like mash of making these dungeons really, really difficult to do casually. So it's pretty nice that because we never did the biosystems lab and never killed Nay first, that there's no robots. And because there's no robots, there's no encounters in this dungeon, so they're just leisurely strolls through these dams. Not to mention the music's really good, so it's nice to be able to hear the full loop. Yeah, they were really bad. Yeah, the blue dungeon, or the blue dam's super bad. But that's but that is the one you're thinking of, for sure. It is this way. That's right, this way. And up here. And around. Yeah. But the blue dam was the longest, and so it was definitely the hardest one. Alright, we're basically done with the red dam now. This is the last little jaunt through it. So we get to this little machine here. We come up to this panel. We use the, oops, that was right, the red card on it. It unlocks the dam. And what we'll just have we'll do is have Nay use her escape pipe. And then we'll have her use her telepipe, which will take us back home. And then we'll leave. Wow, I actually got an encounter here. Okay. I usually wait because you lose the hide pipe when you go in this tunnel. So I usually wait and just don't hide a pipe until I come through here. Oh, damn it. Damn it, damn it. My menuing is getting bad. Okay, there we go. There we go, use it. Yeah, right? It's such a good soundtrack. I love it. Alright, so the scooter's up here, so we'll get in. I'll go ahead and just fight these. I think pug hits are hard to run from, but I think I can. We'll just kill them. So now we're gonna go to the green dam, which is down here. Alright, we gotta use the green card that Amy has because she's not from around here. What I always liked about these games, and like, so I never owned a Genesis growing up, but I had a friend who did, so I got to play this in Phantasy Star 3 growing up. And I like the sci-fi elements that they kind of bring to the table. It makes them really stand out from the Final Fantasy games, up until the later ones anyway, where they did start doing kind of more modern and futuristic stuff. But back in the day, you know, a lot of this stuff was all fantasy, or like high fantasy, and sci-fi wasn't as common of an element in JRPGs at the time. Wait, did I hit the wrong one? Dang it, I wasn't paying attention to the wrong one. It's this one. There we go. But yeah, like, I mean, and this kind of incorporates a little bit of that, because we've got... So the kind of overarching story of these, like, so unlike Final Fantasy games, these games do actually have things to do with each other in the sequels and stuff. So Phantasy Star 1 happens, and a lot of stuff goes down, but ultimately there's a thing called Dark Force that has to be fought to beat the game. And so the lore is every 1,000 years Dark Force shows up and things get screwy and somebody has to deal with it. So your main character Alice deals with it in the first game. This game takes place 1,000 years after Phantasy Star 2. Or 1, rather, sorry. Rolf, ABWX, is actually a descendant of Alice. And Dark Force is around in this one, too. So boy, you know, spoiler alert. Yeah, 6 was more steampunk and less about sci-fi. But it's still really good. 6 is still pretty much my favorite Final Fantasy, so nothing wrong with that. Okay, so now we're done with the green dam. Use the green card. Get out of here. Clone a Haida pipe. And use it. Let me say, like, Chrono Trigger obviously had some sci-fi type elements in it as well, but, like, it just wasn't as common, and I think, like, the Phantasy Star games kind of leaned more heavily into that, which is really nice. Oh, right, pug hits. Yes, and so thankfully, like I said, I had a friend who had a Genesis, and I got to play it. I got to play 2 and 3. I never even knew 4 existed for the longest time, and I've still never completed 4, so that's kind of on my to-do list still. Right. I've played 4, but I've never finished it. But I have finished, obviously, this game and 3 and 1. So now we're in the yellow dam. So we're going to use our favorite band, the yellow card. No, not toss. Thankfully it won't let me. Because it's a key item. So 4 is probably like the least maze-like of all of them. 4 is not 4, what am I saying 4? Yellow dam is like the least maze-like of all of them, I would think. That would be my opinion on. I mean, there's still a little bit to it, but like, it's kind of more wide open. the last floor is kind of like, it's just 3 big spirals next to each other, so it looks more mazy than it is. Oh wait, up, right. So 3 has this weird thing. So because a 3 is kind of like its own weird thing, because 3 happens entirely on spaceships and not on the main planets in the game like this one and 1 and 4 do. So it's part of a 3-planet solar system that has a planet called Palma, a planet called Motavia, and a planet called Dizolus. And the more human-looking characters are from Palma, and Motavians are kind of short and green and wear they almost kind of look like green Jawas almost, I would say. And then Dizolans are blue and very tall. And so even though we're on Motavia, these are people of Palman descent that we're using. And Phantasy Star 1 starts and takes place mostly on Palma, but you do go the other ones. And of course here, we're on Motavia most of the time, and we do go to Dizolus, which we will be going to pretty soon. Alright, so now Nay has the last escape pipe. Alright, there we go. The 1 remake never came out in America, right? That was on the Sega Ages or something like that. Oh, they put it on the Switch? I might have to look into that. Oh yeah, whirlies are hard to run from too. Let's kill it. Alright, so we're going to the blue dam now, which is the last dam. This is the hardest one. Alright, so we're gonna go here, go ahead and use the blue card. But this is a very long one. A lot of ways to get lost in this sucker. So thanks for the follow, by the way, Cliff and Cleef. Appreciate that. So this route has kind of gotten a big upgrade over the last few years. I used to run this a long time ago, like 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago. And in that time we used to do different things like actually get that treasure chest that I just walked past right now. With the snow crown in it, but now we don't need it anymore. And also, the Dark Force fight used to actually be a run ender in the run, but now it's, not. So much that, like, the Visiphone, like, I got the Visiphone, but it's actually part of the route to get the Visiphone, now, where it wasn't in the old route, and like I said, Dark Force would be a run ender because of it. So what I would do in marathons is actually get the Visiphone and save in front of Dark Force. Because it was such a bad fight. now it's free, so it's all good. So we're getting very close to the end of the blue dam finally. There's the thing for the blue dam, but we can't get to it yet, so we gotta go this way. The old panel for the blue card. Sega Taco Cat Age is nice. Alright, we are almost done with the blue dam finally. So here we go. Gotta fall down here. And here we are. Use the blue card and... oh my god, fight. So there's a 1 in 256 chance of a soft lock here, so I'm gonna do the slower thing and fight. Because I don't want a soft lock. I actually have only seen the soft lock once, and it was yesterday while I was back home. So I don't want it to happen here. We're gonna fight. Rudo can die, that's fine. We only have one more hide-a-pipe use, and since Amy has a hide-a-pipe, we'll just use hers. But Rudo will be back soon anyway. Not a big deal. Normally, the fast way is to run from this, or to keep running from this fight, because after the third attack, the last one will do this. Trapped by plasma rings. And now we're magically whisked away to a satellite in space. And we have rings around, those plasma rings around us, so we literally can't do anything. And that's what makes this section kind of dumb, is that we have these rings around us, so we can't do anything. Like, we can't attack or anything because of these rings. And there are robots here too, so which we won't get any encounters because we haven't unlocked the robots. But so you'd have to walk through here and run from everything and hope you don't die when you're playing casually. And now something bad is happening. So we get here to the computer terminal, and we find out the satellite we're on is going to crash right into Palma. Or Parma, depending on spellings and stuff. So this satellite was apparently big enough to crash into Palma and destroy it, but we were saved at the last minute. Rolf's having a dream about Alice fighting Dark Force again. And that destruction of Palma actually comes into play in Phantasy Star 4, which is kind of neat. So we got saved. We're going. So there's Palma. Boom, gone. Gone the way of Alderaan. So we're back home. And so now the game is so entirely demolished that so we're going to go into the building here, and the commander's going to say the same exact dialogue he said to us at the very beginning of the game. And then we're going to go home. And then we're going to get the exact dialogue where Nay's like, "You're going somewhere, I want to go." And then you leave, and nobody's in your party but Nay. And you go back in, and here's Rudo again. You go back in, and here's Amy again. So we had to add them back to the party. And then we will reorder the party like it was. I think it's going to be like that. Yeah, okay. And now we're going to go back here, and we're going to have a new option that's called Roof. Go to the roof, there's a spaceship, we can take it to Dieselus. Now we're in Dieselus. So now here, this is where we're going to use the Visiphone. This is going to let us save the game. And now that we've saved, we can use the telepipe And it's going to take us to some random town in Dieselis. And now we can use the Hide Pipe that Amy has, because we don't need to clone it anymore. This is the last time we'll need it. But now we've got big old robot encounters here, although this isn't quite the same thing. I guess we'll just play. Oh crap, I forgot to turn on Amy's plate. Hopefully they don't attack. Okay, strategy, order. For whatever reason it turned off Amy's plate. They're not doing a whole lot of damage right now for some reason. I might just try and run. There we go. So with the telepipe thing, the telepipe brings you the last place you saved, but for whatever reason, when you save in the very, very first place in Dieselis, it just assumes you've saved in that town. And then so when we telepipe, it just brings us in. And the benefit, what's hilarious about that? All right, Rolf's gonna gain a whole bunch of levels because he never has before, and that was a lot of experience. It brings us right next to the dungeon we're gonna need to go to. So that's handy. And again, no robots here. So a nice jaunt through a dungeon with some dope music. And we totally should not have Nay at this point, but we do, because why not? And it's really cold on this planet, and she's not wearing a whole lot, so it's probably not good to be her right now. And again, Amy's wearing a skirt, so it's probably not good for her either. Okay. That's fine, he doesn't really like. The fact that May's getting hit concerns me a little bit. Yeah, I think I might have messed something up, but maybe not enough that it matters too much. Okay, he's dead. That sort of sucks, but it's whatever. We actually planned for that potential happening. Okay, they're doing damage. So we'll just go. So these guys won't let us through this spot unless Rolf is alive, but that's why we got this Moondew. So now Rolf's alive again. So now they'll let us in. But if he's if he's dead, they won't let us in. So that's what getting the Moondew at the very beginning of the game was for. Oops. And now we're going to meet Lutz, who was a character, one of your party members in Phantasy Star 1 1,000 years ago. They've had him cryogenically frozen. There he is. So now we gotta talk to him again. It's gonna kill them. It's gonna glitch the music out. He's gonna say a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna pause and unpause the game a couple times. And then when we talk to him again, he's gonna have the music's gonna unglitch. If I didn't do that pause and unpause before talking to him, the music would have stayed glitched all the rest of the game. It would suck. So So we got the Nay Sword. We're not going to use it either, just like the rest of the Nay items. So another thing is you have to have all the other Nay items in order to get to this point in the game. So there's a very long quest line to actually do that. But we just, willed them into existence with our inventory glitching. The sword has a very cool effect, though, that can happen even if you don't use it. So Dark Force can inflict curses on people, and the Nay Sword can remove them on it. It's RNG, which kind of sucks, but it can remove them. And here's another dungeon that would suck if robots had been spawned into being by beating Nay first in the Biosystems lab. But since they haven't, it's just a nice gingerly walk through the final dungeon of the game. Yeah, I mean, I suppose not. Because, it's a lot of very short treks through floors before you go up a staircase or down a staircase. Not too many of them are super long, so there's probably not a whole lot of chances of getting new encounters. Well, I mean, it's true. It's very true. Knowing the path is kind of half the battle, as it were. So there's kind of a trope when it comes to Dark Force. And it's that you find him in treasure chests. Because it's like Pandora's box, and he's evil. So here's Dark Force. Forging a hit fight. And hope he plays ball. And hope that Nay doesn't miss too many times. Okay, so he just cursed Rolf, which is fine. And the Nay Sword immediately uncursed him, which is cool. And Nay missed one of those 2 times. So he just recursed Rolf. This is fine. Rolf is crushed by despair, so he apparently thinks he's in a Danganronpa game. So there's an AoE attack. I'm actually surprised he didn't die. But here we are. Wow, Amy missed once. Okay, Nay's getting cursed now. Sometimes it can be a minor curse and they'll still attack. Major curses they won't, though. God, stop missing. There we go. Alright, so Dark Force is dead. That was good timing. The curse on Nay didn't affect anything. Sometimes, I had one practice session go where both Nay and Amy were cursed, and the Nay Sword didn't do anything for 7 turns. And I'm just sitting there going, come on, because they just weren't doing anything. So here's the true final boss of this game. We just entered Metroid territory. This is Mother Brain. Mother Brain is a computer controlling basically everything to do with Motavia. Like the climate and everything. And her going haywire is what caused the monsters to appear. And so Motavia originally is a desert planet. And you notice in this game it very much wasn't. And that's because Mother Brain had climate systems and all these other systems, and they basically terraformed Motavia into a green, lush planet. And that was starting to kind of wilt away because of what happened to Mother Brain. There we go, Mother Brain's dead. Says, what? Who are these people? Just as like he said. So, and when I clear the dialogue, this is the end here. And there's all these people we didn't see, and there's time. 47-42, not too bad. So, basically what this is that big group of people we just walked into were humans from the planet Earth, us. They did so much damage to their planet, they all piled into spaceships and started looking for a new place to live, and they found this star system and decided, we want this, so let's kill everybody on them, on the planets, and take them for ourselves. And so they took over Mother Brain and made her go haywire. Earth was the real villain all along, yep. So here's a character we never saw. Here's Kane. And here's Amy's sprite double, because they basically look the same except for different colors. Thank you for the GGs, everybody. Appreciate that. Of course, we're not going to see anything from Nay here because she's not supposed to be here. Anyway, that was Phantasy Star 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. You folks, as it were. Sorry. So this is a very busted speedrun, as I said. You know, like we didn't do most of the game and ended up beating it in 47, almost 48 minutes. So. And my PB is like 41 minutes. I did some extra things to save, to potentially kind of even out the time a little bit and make it less volatile. The hide pipe's not something I normally do in a PB attempt. I just take the encounter rate for what it is and hope I don't get too hosed by it and can run from everything right away. And obviously using the hide pipes and stuff takes a little bit of time. So. Coming up next, we got Weapon. So stick around for that. Weapon's playing a good game. Weapon's playing Kickle Cubicle. So stick around for that. And I hope you give me a follow. I've been kind of streaming kind of sporadically lately, but I'm trying to get back into it. I do a lot of fun stuff. So I hope to see you soon. Thanks for having me.